Hi, this is Sally. I'm a staff librarian at the Newburyport Public Library. Today I am talking about some of my favorite books and authors in the genre of medical biographies. This talk is more a list of recommendations than a review of any given book, as there are a lot of good books in this genre and I don't have time to discuss them all. Recommended titles will be in the description. Asterisks denote books available in Libby and Overdrive in Massachusetts as of May of 2020. Specifically, I am discussing books written by people in the medical profession about their experiences working in the field. I have divided the talk into sections, first profiling some of the more well-known authors who have written more than one book, and then discussing the books by specialty. All of these books are popular nonfiction written for a general audience, and they are a compilation of stories or experiences by the author, not books about any specific disease. Medical professionals are front and center during the pandemic, so if you've ever wondered how one becomes a doctor or nurse, or what goes on behind the scenes, these books may be of interest. This is one of my favorite genres, and I have a lot of books to recommend, so let's get started. I've found it necessary to divide this talk into two parts. Part 1 will focus on books by prolific physician authors, books about medical and nursing school and residency, and books by pediatrician and ER doctors. The first author on this list is one of the most prolific and well-known. Atul Gawande's book Being Mortal, Medicine and What Matters in the End, published in 2014, won numerous awards and was adapted into a PBS documentary. Dr. Gawande has an MD and a master's in public health. He is a surgeon at Brigham and Women's Hospital in Boston and a professor at Harvard Medical School and at the Harvard School of Public Health. He is also a passionate advocate for safety in the medical field and frequently addresses ways to minimize medical errors in his writings. He is the author of 4 popular books and is a staff writer for the New Yorker magazine. The next author I recommend is Jerome Groopman. Dr. Groopman is Chief of Experimental Medicine at the Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center in Boston and holds the Dina and Raphael Recanati Chair of Medicine at the Harvard Medical School. He is one of the world's leading researchers in cancer and AIDS and has written 5 books, all of which I truly enjoyed. He is also a staff writer for the New Yorker. He is a frequent contributor to other prominent newspapers and periodicals. The next author I recommend is Danielle Ofri. Dr. Ofri is an attending physician and internist at Bellevue Hospital in New York City and clinical professor of medicine at New York University School of Medicine. She writes frequently about the doctor-patient relationship and ways in which physicians can improve their communication with their patients. She is co-founder and editor-in-chief of the Bellevue Literary Review, the first literary journal to arise from a medical setting. She has given TED Talks and performed stories for The Moth. The next recommended author is Sandeep Jahar. Dr. Jahar is a practicing cardiologist and a contributing opinion writer for the New York Times. He is the author of 3 books. The first 2 are about his experiences as an intern and then an attending physician. His latest book, Heart: A History, is the story of the doctors who risked their careers and the patients who risked their lives in the earliest years of cardiac surgery. Dr. Jahar is the director of the Heart Failure Program at Long Island Jewish Medical Center. The next recommended author is Robert Marion. MVLC only owns one of his books, but his other books are available through the Mass Commonwealth catalog and can be purchased. Dr. Marion is one of my favorite authors, so I've included him here. He is based at the Montefiore Medical Center in the Bronx and is a professor and chief of the Department of Pediatric Division of Genetics at the Albert Einstein College of Medicine. As a pediatric geneticist, Dr. Marion deals with diseases ranging from the most common to the most obscure. His books are like mysteries as he works to diagnose and treat children with rare genetic syndromes. His book, The Boy Who Felt No Pain, available in Comcat, is one of my all-time favorites. The stories are fascinating. Now on to the various specialties. This slide contains 5 of my favorite books written by pediatricians. 3 of the books are written by surgeons. One is a pediatric surgeon who operates on premature infants. One was a pediatric neurosurgeon who pioneered new ways to treat spinal cord tumors. and one is the president and CEO of Children's National Hospital in Washington, D.C., who discusses his career in pediatric surgery. Two of the books are written by pediatricians about their residencies at Children's Hospital in Boston. The next two slides include some of my favorite books by doctors and nurses about their experiences in medical or nursing school and residency. My favorite authors in this batch are Brian Ewell, Ellen Lerner Rothman, and Emily Transu, and Michelle Ah. A few of the books are compilations, and Brian Ewell's book focuses on the matching program, which determines where med students will end up doing their residencies. He follows a few new doctors through the matching process in the year beyond. The next two slides focus on doctors who work in the emergency department. My favorite authors out of this group are Pamela Grimm, Paul Austin, and Echo Heron, but I enjoy them all. This concludes part 1 of this talk. Part 2 will cover books by surgeons, doctors writing about their own illnesses, stories about working at Bellevue Hospital in New York City, medical ethicists, coroners and medical examiners, paramedics and flight nurses, and other compilations of patient stories. Part 2 will also cover ways in which you can search for books by subject in Libby and Overdrive. We have put several tutorials about using Libby and Overdrive on our YouTube page, including one which teaches you how to access materials from other consortiums. Good consortiums to try for medical books not available in MVLC are Boston Public Libraries Consortium and the Minuteman Library Consortium. As always, feel free to contact us via email at info@newburyportpl.org or by phone at 978-465-4428.